mishap. And I have the lovely pleasure of welcoming our speaker, Tina Marie Jones. So let me tell you just a little bit about Tina. Tina travels connecting the audience through her style of a talk show host. This media personality evokes your inner genius and understanding of the power of self-esteem on your happiness. She's the creator and host of the internationally acclaimed talk show Holistic Living radio program and the Power of Transformation television program on the Good Life Network, both of which span the globe, sharing ways for audiences can live a fulfilling life. Tina Marie shares unique ways to see through your own filters and invites ways we can all laugh at our experience through her workshop and through her books. Laughter heals, connects, and evens the power playing field, which allows all team members to contribute to the goals on the table. Her latest work, which she's going to do for us this afternoon, High Sexy, allows people to measure their self-esteem and create their own internal happiness while sharing themselves authentically with the world. In her inspirational program, Living to the Power of Yes, Tina puts her followers to the test with their deepest potential, inspiring them to regain their personal power, live from their passion, and create the life they want to live with no excuses and no old things holding you back. So go for the no and get the yes in your life. Be it in sales, health, communications, creativity of joys, relationships, and there's a whole bunch of other things I can tell you about, and celebrities that she worked with. But what we'd like to say about Tina, what I'd love to say most about her, is she's a really powerful presence, and she's not here for her, she's here for us. She's the way Spirit is showing up for us to let go of anything that's holding us back from playing full out on life. And love, if you take the time to stay with us this afternoon, we'd love to have you. But I'd also invite you to check out her website, because there are other ways to stay plugged in to see how she's playing full out in the world, because we only get her for just a couple of hours. But I promise you, if you open your hearts and minds to what's here for you today, you'll leave here playing fuller out than you ever have before. So welcome with me, Tina Marie Jones.
Tears to my eyes. Thank you. I'm so honored to be here with you. And whenever I was listening to the song "Beautiful" that was chosen, Christina Aguilera, I heard that song for the first time as it was being played on radios back whenever I was in my early 30s. And I won't tell you how old I am now, but you could probably do the math if you go look up when that song came out. And it hit home because I didn't have a high self-esteem. I was in a relationship where I purposefully put myself there so that I could learn who I was. And what I want to say about that, just a little bit, because the workshop's going to really expand on it, is that what I've learned, and I'm going to talk about today, is that self-esteem isn't something that is high or low, and it is simply is, and it's a way of us giving our power away because we don't feel worthy of that power at this time flesh. And we want to go get that back. So we put our power in the wonderful hands of those people around us, be it society, culture, religion, the people we live with, family members, and we can build up those things that seem negative about that situation. But the truth is, it's our life journey to go get our power back, find our authenticity, and then go, thank you for holding that for me until I found my own self-worth to own it and to put it into the world. So whenever she came out with that song, and I hear on the radio, I'm in the radio crying, you know. Who can say that they've been in the radio listening to a song in the car just crying? Nobody's watching me, thank God, right? Well, I was there. And I got curious. I'm like, what is this? You know, I felt like I was in this wonderful black hole of no answers. And there's a wonderful quote, because we can ask ourselves, what is it? You know, what's happening? Why am I stuck? But if you answer the question under the question, you actually unravel something that's pretty special. And for me, I started unraveling the question, what is hurting in me? And it was my self-esteem. And we can measure self-esteem, which is actually defined as a respectful appreciation for who and what we are. Okay, what's respectful? That means that we're not speaking poorly about ourselves or others. What's appreciation? It's actually validating who and what we are, and not expecting the other to do that for us. I was in a relationship, blessed relationship, where no matter how much I validated that person, it seemed to be going straight out like it was just a sieve. And it wouldn't stick. But we know here in this gathering that whenever we have a life experience, we can hold up the mirror to ourselves and we can look and say, how am I reflecting that? You're simply a messenger for me to look inside Because the truth is, we have enough curriculum in our lifetime to last lifetimes. If we look at ourselves first and not look outside and try to fix others. Because that's exhausting, right? That's pretty exhausting. So what I did in my growing maturity as a young adult is I started holding up that mirror and I started asking, what is it that this relationship's showing me? What is it that life's showing me? And it was a beautiful thing because I started getting curious about that thing called self-esteem. I started researching it. You know, whenever you get jazzed about something that you're finding out for the first time, you want to go talk to everybody about it? You go, wow, I just learned this, I read this, and this is a great book, and God, you just need to know about this. So what's your self-esteem like? I was like asking, it's like a 4-letter word. I'm good. Everything's fine. You know, I'm handled. Yeah, but I know people with low self-esteem. Oh my God. Yeah, I know self-esteem's an issue in this world, isn't it? But then when I hold up the mirror, and I'm like, no. This is where I have low self-esteem here and here and here. And they're going, TMI. You do not want to hear all this stuff, lady. But it was great because it was an investigation for me to find me. And that's really all this is ever about. And so the funny thing is that I was interviewed late last year in the fall by a series called Thank God I. And Thank God I is, I felt it's like the next chicken soup for the soul. And he has things like, thank God I was raped. Thank God I had cancer. Thank God I went through the divorce. Well, they call me up, and I'm in media, they're on TV, and they go, so, did you ever think you were ugly? Actually, I did. And they're like, oh, really? Good. They're like, jazzed, because they're going to have an interview. They're going to have content for their book. And so I was paired up with an interviewer, and it's funny because I'm an interviewer. And they paired me up with an interviewer, and they wanted to hear what was really behind me believing at one point in my life I was ugly. And the truth was I was raised in a neighborhood where I was one of very few white people. And I didn't ever see this segregation of, different cultures where I grew up because we all played flag football and hide and go seek and, go down to the railroad tracks and hang out and all this kind of stuff because they were my buddies. But whenever you get to junior high, something happens. Kids become meaner. They do. And they realized, oh, not only is she one of 2 white women or girls in this school, she's the only blonde. And you could see me going down the hallway. There she is. We see her. And they decided they wanted to beat me up on a regular basis, or at least threaten me, or knock books out of my arms. And I wasn't able to wear makeup back then because my mother thought I would grow up too fast. And so I have very blonde eyelashes. And I have very blonde eyebrows. These are dyed. And so I stood out, and they'd call me albino. Because I didn't know. I mean, they were trying to find their own footing. But we do that sometimes through harming others. Yeah. And so I grew up with this, don't look at me. Don't look at me. I stand out like a sore thumb. In fact, one of the quotes was, they could see you from satellites, you're so white. And I was like, yeah. And so I wanted to move to California. I'm from Houston. I wanted to move to California because I thought whenever you go to California, they give you a tan. Mom, can we just move to California, right? They give you a tan and you get skinny. So I was like, cool. We never moved to California, so I never figured that one out for myself as a youth. But what happened is I grew up with a stigma that I stood out. And don't stand out. For heaven's sakes, don't stand out because you're going to get hurt. And here we are in a world where we're wanting to have our uniqueness. So there's that paradox. How can we really stand out and understand our uniqueness, our greatness, our specialties, and then be secure in it? And that's where it comes down to self-esteem. And I read this quote by Albert Einstein, and it is, you can only rise to the level of your self-esteem. You can only rise to the level of your self-esteem. So I was like, God, where's that happening in my life? Got a level of self-esteem, and you don't even know it. Who here knows their self-esteem measurement? Anybody gone to the school of self-esteem measurement? No? Well, I actually have a system that I developed over the last 3 years on how to measure your self-esteem and get a baseline, so you know what you're working with. And it's actually markers all the way through your life that's telling you what your self-esteem is. And it's nothing to avoid, it's just simply to know. And if I can only rise to the level of my self-esteem and I keep hitting it, and I'm doing all these self-empowerment classes and going off and doing retreats and owning all day long and thinking if I'm vegan, I'm going to get it, which I was for 12 years. Nobody's going to be able to push my button and we go, oh, you know? They'd be able to push my button and I go, yes, thank you. Thank you for pushing that button. Okay, the reality is we get our buttons pushed and we go, I'm supposed to swallow that, just love you anyway. But we get into that place. There are pitfalls to positive thinking. Sometimes we don't allow our humanness to come out. And so whenever you get that level of self-esteem, and you rise above it for a moment, you go to a retreat, you come out like, yeah, I'm me. I love myself. And then somebody comes into your life and pushes a button that you didn't know was there, and we can either go, ouch, what the heck? Stop doing that to me, like Christina says. Don't you bring me down today. Well, what if they're not bringing you down, they're just waking you up? They're just waking you up. You have a button and I pushed it. Well, I didn't know I had that button. And who gave you permission to push it? You did. What if instead of going, don't push my buttons, or back off boogaloos, we instead say, I have a button. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one, and now I get to look at it. And we ask the question under the question, where am I giving my power away? Where have I given my power away? And what is this button push, this angst, this doing to have me see where I gave that power away? Power in choice, power in our own understanding of ourselves and our brilliance, that we're not showing up the way we're supposed to really show up, that we know that we want to show up, and we're hiding out. A friend of mine last week, one of my new coaching clients, sent me some videos, a video series on that was done on Oprah, and it was Ellen and Portia. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. And they had just gotten married. And Oprah interviewed them. And one of the questions she asked Portia, because Portia was in the media, and she said, well, how long did you know you were attracted to Ellen? Well, from the day I saw her, but I couldn't say anything. Well, why couldn't you say anything? I'm in the media. It would hurt my career. So she had all this weight on should, have to, ought to, the way you're supposed to be in the world. And you couldn't possibly go against that because it costs too much. She had the level of cost of her self-esteem. If people see the real her in there, this is all going to unravel. Where in our lives are we thinking we're going to unravel something that's very important to us? And maybe people are going to leave us. Or maybe they're going to judge us in a different way. And we're just, God, I don't know if I have what it takes to go through that right now. But she admitted through this video series that she had such weight on her psychically that there's no way she could succeed in her career and who and what she was. It wasn't coming out. And our authenticity is always pulling at us. In fact, sometimes it pushes us into life and says, be authentic. Be authentic. Not try and seek authenticity and get approval before you are authentic. Just be authentic. And whenever she was finally, after 4 years, able to say, I'm dating the world's most famous lesbian. I mean, really, she did. People saw her differently. They didn't reject her. They embraced her and said, thank you for showing the way. Well, many of us are in the closet in different areas, not just our sexuality or our choices there, but also our financial position. Sometimes it's very painful to say the truth about where we are financially in the world. And maybe I didn't have enough wherewithal or foresight or education to prepare for where we are now. Maybe I don't know how to get myself out of a rut. And maybe we have relationships that we want to hide away. And I didn't want my relationship to be out there either. We were very well known in the community. And to come out and say, I'm hurting here, when I thought have him be a bad guy. And I didn't want him to be a bad guy, and I didn't want to be the stupid fool. So there was a lot of judgment in that. And sometimes we hide ourselves away spiritually as well. I actually went to Unity of Houston for 10 years before I ever told my husband. Great story. We're recording this. It was Wednesday night service because he didn't believe in organized religion. He thought it was brainwashing and that I'd be part of a cult, especially if it was new thoughts. You know, I was going to be in a cult, I'd go off and join some kind of convent or ashram, he'd never see me again, and we'd never have parents, a mother to his children. I was already vegan, so that was like really out there. I was vegan and I was in Texas. Oh God, I was the difficult one at restaurants. And people, you know, whenever I go over a family gallery, so I've got like tears coming, what do we make? Oh my God, we have to do something vegan. My brother said, can you send me a recipe? It's okay, I'll bring my own food. It's good. It's called salad, but it's okay. Many people don't know how to make salad. But I'm going to Unity on Wednesday nights because I wanted to, you know, feed my soul, and I wasn't going to do it on the weekend because that was family time. And so I'm going Wednesday night, sneaking over to Unity Church, and I had to work late. Yeah. And so eventually he thought I was having an affair. He's like, she keeps working late on Wednesday nights. What's going on there? Well, I go to a wedding. My friend's having a wedding in their house. You know, those home weddings where it's all nicely done, and everybody's out there in the kitchen and in the den getting things ready, and the doorbell rings. And I go, I'll get it. And I go and I get the doorbell, and I open it up, and there's Howard Caesar standing there. Oh, hi. And he saw the sheer terror on my face, like, ooh, God, you know, like, we're good. You know, why are you so scared of seeing me? And I never really spoke to him, but he got something was not right. And he realized over 10 years he'd never seen my other half. He goes in there and I introduce him gingerly. Hi, Howard, this is my husband. Yes. And he never said, oh, it's so good to see you here. I didn't know. Why don't you join us at church? He never did anything like that. Sharp man. I was scared. I was shaking. And I'm sitting there in the front row in this wedding, shaking, listening to a wonderful service. The wedding was great, and I'm wondering, Greg's going to figure it out. Greg's going to figure it out. He's going to know I've been going to church. What's going on? Well, I hadn't come out of the closet about my spirituality. And so I ended up taking him to Adoring Virtue. It's probably not the best way to introduce him to spirituality. But she was like the next guest speaker. And she comes, you can go, and we're going to learn the angelic realm. And so after that, he's like, you believe in this stuff, really? And I was like, well, yeah. So I started gradually coming out. Whenever I finally invited him to an actual Sunday service, he was impressed and he loved it. So the very thing that I was putting as the fear, the thing against me, was the very thing that was going to open me up. And I had made him the bad guy. And everyone was trying not to make him the bad guy. You see the interesting thing there? So in our self-esteem quest and in our opening up, we actually purposefully give our power away so that we can go find it. Because we don't feel worthy of it in the moment that we start realizing our greatness. If we knew how amazing we really are, how powerful, it would blow our socks off and we would be scared in a black closet somewhere going, please don't show me that again. So what we do is we gradually give our power away to those people in our lives that come across our path that we know are our noble friends that are going to teach us something so we can go get it back and say thank you. The greatest prayer of all is thank you. Thank you. So how does our self-esteem develop? Our self-esteem develops whenever we're children. Some people believe maybe prior to that becoming the karmic understanding of who and what we are. But we get these experiences through our life where we're either good or bad. We did good or we did bad. We can improve. And we seek that approval because we don't want to be cast out of the tribe because that's our safety. Yeah? It's our safety. Well, as parents can guide, support, validate, encourage the child to expand outside of their horizon of comfort. You know, go and have a wonderful overnight stay at Susie's house. Go and experience the playground by yourself. I'll sit over here and watch. You know, there's different things that we do. Jump off the ledge of the pool, and I'll catch you. These all build our self-esteem as children. And we really want that security. We want those limitations, and we want those ways of knowing that we're not going to damage ourselves. Something else is looking out for us, so we don't damage ourselves in the process of growth. It's a wonderful mechanism. What happens when we become adults? We want to leave the nest. We want to say, we got to handle mom and dad, thank you, heading off to college, going off to the job, going to go get married, going to go see the world. I got it. And so if we have our internal governor, which is our self-esteem, going, this is good for you, this is not good for you, and we listen, we're pretty good throughout our lifetime. But the truth is, that isn't our journey. We can say that we got it all put together. Very few of us do. There are some teachers that walk the earth that we think had it pretty well handled. At least that's the account of their lives that we hear. Right? What we do as adults is that we pull people around us, we attract people around us that are going to be those barriers, those, okay, you bumper bowl, you pinball up against this, and then you pinball up against this. And sometimes the lights go off, and sometimes you hear the loud noises in your pinball machine, but otherwise you're going on your path, right? The invitation that I have for you is to consider that your higher self, or the understanding we have with our higher self, is that governor for us. It's that governor saying, listen to the inside, listen to your inner voice, listen to your intuition. Is it good for you? And whenever Christina sings about, don't bring me down today, who's really bringing us down? It's our opinion of what people have for us that can bring us down. It's really not the other people. They're simply saying something, and you can say, thank you. Thank you. There's words that I'm going to teach today in the workshop, different ways of being, like nevertheless. It's a very powerful way of being. Whenever somebody says something to you in opposition of where you really want to go, yes, I understand, but nevertheless, and you stay on your course. Sometimes we go off course because we go, tell me more, I need all this data before I can go have my own life. Truth is, you've already gotten everything you need. You got it right now. You wouldn't have the experience in your life if God didn't know that you have everything you need right now to handle it. And nevertheless, it's very powerful. We're going to be learning that this afternoon. And if you're thinking high sexy is all female, it's not. This is for the men and for the women, and it's about self-esteem. So I'm going to give you a little insight into the workshop. High sexy stands for high self-esteem exudes yes. Let me break it down. High self-esteem exudes yes. And where that came from? I was at the edge of my 40th birthday. In fact, it was Friday night, and one of my wonderful friends decides he's not going to allow me to be locked up in the house anymore because I was going through a divorce. And I was just staying at home, playing music, Facebooking. Here, everybody, let's jam to this song. And I put out the song on Facebook, and I'd get all these comments. And I'm like, yay, I'm in community. People are out there, and they're listening to me, and they're like connecting with me, but I was on my couch. That wasn't really out in the world. And so what Chris did is he comes over unexpected. He knew my birthday was on Sunday, and it's Friday night, and he kidnaps me. And Chris is my best friend from junior high and high school, and he's gay. And I love him. So he went to my closet, and he picked out the raunchiest dress I own, which I don't own many, but he found it. I'm like, I can't fit in that anymore. He goes, honey, it stretches. Oh, God. I know. And then he found my big shoes, the tall shoes. Oh, God, I'm going to kill myself on this. No, you're wearing them. And then he made my hair all messy, and he said, let's go out. Okay, so we went out. We went to all the bars, and I'd never bar hop. I was married for 20 years, and I don't do that, you know. I just don't do it. But it was a whole side of life that I never experienced. And I said, what the heck? You know, what do I do? Sit home and just be on Facebook all night with people that I really don't know? So we did it, and I had a good time, and I drank too much, and I even smoked a cigarette, and that was like, whoa, you know. Because Chris is smoking like, give me that. He goes, you smoke? No. Oh, God, that was not a good idea. But I get home, he takes me home, and I pour myself into bed because I was not feeling good at all. And I wake up the next morning going, oh, God, I'm going to remember that night the rest of my life. I go to the bathroom, and as I'm coming out in the big mirror above the sinks, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and wondering, what were you thinking? What were you doing last night? What were you trying to prove, right? That you're not 40? And I hear this voice in my bathroom. And it was a man's voice. And it said, hi, sexy. And I answered the mirror back, and I'm like, yeah, right. There was no part of me that felt sexy at all. And there was no part of me that felt like I had worth in the world because my world was falling apart. As I knew it, everything was falling apart. Even though I'm on TV and I have to look put together, behind the camera, outside of the camera, outside of the studio, people didn't know. There's a lot of your life that people don't know. And you can be falling apart in different areas, and it's all fine. Today in the workshop, we're going to dive into that and find out why it's fine and what it's calling to you to be. And so I hear the high sexy, I say you're right, but it didn't leave me that. It stayed in my gut. And the curiosity was, what the heck was that? And why was it a man's voice? You know, what is this? It really felt like it was real. The next morning, I wake up, and the strange thing was, I anticipated it, and I wanted to hear it again. I wanted to hear that voice again saying, hi, sexy. I yearned for that. And then I got really upset with myself and going, well, why the heck do you want that? What in you is not believing you are whatever that is, and you need something else to give you that validation? So instead of getting angry, which I stayed for a little bit, I got curious. I pulled out my makeup drawer. We all have makeup drawers, right, Lenny? The big one with lots of lipsticks that I never use anymore. Because I was a ballroom dancer for a while, and I pulled out my reddest lipstick. And I wrote on the mirror, hi, sexy, exclamation point. And I kept it up there. And I put my face in the middle of it, and I started asking myself, what is this? And the mirror spoke back. And that's what it told me. High self-esteem exudes yes. And I realized at that moment my self-esteem had a little cracks in it, a few cracks. And I set off on a journey to find myself. So this afternoon I'm going to share that journey. The very exercises I did, we'll have an experience, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to laugh, we'll probably cry a little bit together. But it's a wonderful way of starting to understand where did you give your self-esteem away in the world, why did you do it, how to get it back, and then what to do with it. There's a lot of self-esteem courses out there that do a lot. You'll get to understand the power of self-esteem and what it does for you in your life, and maybe where you're hitting up against it. One of the missing things that I found in all the research I've done is that there's no what do you do with it now. Once you understand it, once you do something about it, what do you do next? If you do not change your learning paradigm, if you do not change your belief systems, change your understanding of life itself, that it's not against you, it's for you. And then how do you embrace the forness in a bigger way? Many of us have the forness go on. We know that it's for us, we know that life's a mirror, we know that life's evoking us, it's pulling us forward, but then we can get stuck again and we haven't made that shift to the next realm. That shift takes support. That shift takes a push. So how do you get that push from the universe and release and say, okay, I'm ready to be pushed. Let's do it. I took trapeze at Santa Monica Pier. Beautiful view. Beautiful view. But scary as all get out. I'm scared of heights. And so I get up there. Whenever you're at the very edge, who's here? Who's ever done trapeze? You've done trapeze? Yeah?
In the circus.
In the circus. Well, I wasn't in the circus. I was in my own mental circus. I'll tell you. You can actually go and do trapeze as an experience. And if you've never done it, I highly recommend it. So if you make it to LA, Santa Monica is just a jaunt right over there, and then you go out to the pier and they have the trapeze school. I'm a little insane at times, but it's fun. I'm not a boring person, I'll guarantee that. So what I did is you get up on the platform and they've got you back here. It's sort of like you're in a sumo wrestler diaper. And you trust that diaper. You want that diaper to be very strong and very padded. And they have you back here from behind you. And it's like God saying, I got you. I got you. Now lean forward. Now I'm not going to do it here because I'll fall on you. But lean forward. Lean into life. Where does God have you when you're not leaning forward? He's got your back. And everything else. He's got you. Lean forward. And then what they say is you're to reach for the pole. Yeah. You get the pole, right? That pole's heavy. And it sort of dangles out over here, going a little wobbly and stuff, and they still got you. You're on, you have a tether here. You're holding onto the tether. You've got the pole, and they've got you holding you in the back. You've got your picture. And then they say, grab the pole with the other hand. That's where you trust. That's where you trust. Many of us are already here in our life. We've got this one set of the pole. I'm good. I got the ball. I got the bar. I got the ball. I got it. I'm still holding on, but I got it. And I've got my little thing here. I got it. We're good. And I'm leaning forward. Is that good? Is that good, God? Is that good? Yeah. Okay, you got me. Yeah, okay. But whenever God says go and take the other full, we're resistant. We're hesitant. Whenever God gives us a inspiration, a desire, or something of that nature that really gets us, it's in there, and we hesitate, it's like telling God, no, it's okay, go away. I've got my life right now. I'll just come back later. Do you think God's going to come back later? It's always there, but he's going to go, I'm just not going to give you that inspiration again. I was going to say, he didn't do anything with it. So whenever you get the other bar, and you lean out, and the catcher's got you from behind, and you hear your cue from the below because they're watching the guy on the other side. They know the timing. We think we know the timing of life. No, we think we've got it all figured out. We've got our 1-year plan, our 2-year plan, our 3-year plan. We got it all planned out. We know what we're going to do this week. Great. Something else has a better view on your life than you do. Guaranteed. I learned this. So whenever you've got the bar and you hear, hut, you jump. You don't hesitate, you go. And it's the most miraculous flight of your life. And whenever you actually get caught by the catcher, because you're upside down by that point, that's a whole other story. Maybe I'll tell you that one in the workshop. Whenever you get upside down and you can't see the dude behind you that wants to grab you, it's like, okay, you gotta trust that person's there whenever you let go of the bar, right? It's amazing. But God is always here, ready to catch you. There's always a safety net, even though we don't know that it's there. We don't need to see all the answers. And your self-esteem is the very power that you gave away to other people that you're going to be getting back. And it's a journey where you say thank you. You simply say thank you. So what I'd love to do is guide you into an essential understanding of your physical body on this Labor Day weekend, because the universe is laboring all the time. The universe is in labor of you, of us. It's birthing us. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought that there's a reason why there's a light at the end of the tunnel? For women, we understand that if you're giving birth to something and the baby's going to the light, go toward the light. You know? Go toward the light. Get out. We're in life right now. We're laboring. The universe is laboring on our behalf, pushing us out, and we're all to go toward the light. Well, what if you are the light? You're the light in every moment. And what I want to give you an experience of right now is breath. We all know if we stop breathing, we stop living. I want to take you on a journey of what your breath is really evoking in this world, and how you can literally be the energy that shifts your experience every moment. You guys ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, if you want this, there's a meditation on my website. I will give it to you. It's a free download. If you can't find it, because I have web guys that redo everything all the time, they think it's fun to do that. Just go on my website, tinariejones.com, just message me and I'll get you the download. But this is a meditation that's set to music. So here you go. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths with me. In and out. The light of God comes in and through you in breath. So as you sit there and you breathe, have this understanding of your breath and the power that it holds. Your breath is traveling up and in through your nasal passages, and it travels close to your brain where you have your pineal gland, where we understand that to be our third eye, and some levels of consciousness that we are becoming more aware of every moment of our life. So that breath travels. Continue to breathe on your own and just listen to my words of what your breath is doing for your world right now. As it travels up and near your brain, it's taking in the level of understanding of who and what you are, and it travels down through your throat chakra, that very expression that you are in the world, all the truth you'd love to share, all the passion you'd love to express. And it goes down into your lungs where you have heart, and you have beating, and you have resonance, and you have vibration. And that breath fills your entire body, every single cell, every entire tissue, all of it. And as it comes back up, Surround every cell of your breath, every molecule that's going back out of you with nothing but love, peace, awareness, acceptance, and yes. And as it travels back through your throat chakra, it takes all that truth that you know you are. It goes back through your conscious brain and it goes out into the world. And everybody's inhale is somebody's exhale. Everybody's inhale is somebody's exhale. And what I ask is that the beauty of who and what you are be imbued on the wind of your exhale every moment. And that you have faith that your passion, your life, your purpose, your level of understanding, your love gets put into this world because you are worth it. You are worth it or you would not be here. And join me back as you open your eyes. I want you to know that your exhale now has power in it. We go off into the world and we always think about the inhale. Let's now focus on the exhale. And as you inhale, I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you beauty. I'm going to give you life. I'm going to thank you and be in gratitude for you knowing who and what you are so that you can remind me who and what I am. And I want you all to join me today for the workshop from 2 to 5. And I'll see you at lunch. Thank you.